Hello, everybody. This is SMA Watts, and we are in the finals of the season championships for Standard Pauper. We're playing against a mellow fellow, 23, and I'm pretty sure. I think I watched some of his last game, and I think I'm playing against once again White Weenie. This is a perfectly acceptable hand against White Weenie. Yep. Like, worst case scenario is he goes Ethereal Armor, leaves a land up, swings in. Because then Freakish Cure doesn't even kill it. But unfortunately, being on the draw, that's Serial Armor. Yep. A brutal start. Okay, so actually, I don't play the bat. They done. That way I can hopefully Freakus Cure a 2-drop. Like, I know Quag Sickness is going to get countered. Or not. Take a bite out of tempo. And play the bat. And start recovering some tempo. Because the way I beat White Weenie really comes down to they're more aggressive than I am. I have to make sure every one of my cards either gets 2 of theirs or gets 1 and something. Like, I get a little gravy on my 1-for-1. That's what Basilica Screecher's there to do. Because if I get a little gravy on my 1-for-1s, eventually I win. That's kind of how it's been going. Now he has a choice if he can play a 2. Like, I'd really like to draw a Disciple. Like, that's obviously the ideal draw. Last Breath My Bat. That's fine. Yeah, Quag Sickness. Like, theoretically, I could have played Stab Wound. They kind of play the same. I probably should have that. Probably should have been Stab Wound. Like, this time, I'm going to use Stab Wound. I don't think they play any 3 toughness creatures. And now comes the fly guy. Yep. Even though it's technically a cheaper card, I'm using my mana slightly less efficiently. I want to be able to keep the instant up. Giant Skyjack resolves. Alright, now I play a blocker. Well, I'm definitely taking the ethereal armor. Rester, yeah. If you don't play the ethereal armor, then you're telling me what you have in your hand. Well, what did we see? Alright, so I milled him. Giant Skyjack. Hit 3 lands. That's not great. Like I've burned a lot of removal in this game. Alright. I have a lot of removal I can draw off of Read the Bone. Uh, Up. Hmm. Yeah, that's fine. Top. So I guess I play the Perilous Shadow and just start swinging in with it. Yep, Syndicate Tides. The Concordia Pegasus is reasonably sized. I'll miss you. Right. Okay, that was your last card. That's neat. That's a neat picture. That's that worldwide version. Hmm. Did he draw? Did I mulligan? Yeah, take one in the air. I have in my graveyard. I've got. I can get the Perilous Shade back. Hmm. That's probably correct. I'll just block, switch, get the Perilous Shade. Briefly miss damage going on the stack. Magic. Shade. Alright, I'm back in this, I think. Back to back Gary will help scoop up some of this disparity. Plus, in order for him to attack, he has to. Like, in order for this to attack, this has to attack. Unless he gives us pro black. That'd be rough. I'm gonna take my one in the air. If he has another removal spell, it'd be sad, but yeah, I missed 2 damage there, but it was more important to get that 6 point life swing in. That's boy, did that stop you from racing really quickly? Like, you think you're racing, and then you find out your opponent has Gray Merchants. Like, well, actually, I wasn't racing. If my opponent attacks, I think I just take it and swing back. Going through, let's see. It's possible my opponent's not playing God's Willing Bane. I might. I mean, that means he's got. Oh, then again, technically, the way I played that, I am very much playing as if I have Farika's Cure. I didn't even realize I was bluffing that I have Cure. I only have a 2/4 lifelinker. Oh, well, that helps you race. But disciple away your last card. Eh. Merchant you for 10. And Gary in. Yeah, send disciple in. Well, yeah, you could trade with it. They have you back. Yeah. You go up to 10, I go down to 23. That's crazy. Alright, well, I read the bones because they're there to be read. Yeah, I'll take both read the bones. Like, he sort of has to be blocked. God's willing, that's fine. Does run at main. I read the bones. Top, bottom. Well, I think I know what I need in my sideboard against aggressive decks. Instead of siding, like I should have phalanx. Okay. GG. Alright. So, as I've said, I like my initial layout against White Weenie. Though I think I might bring in into my sideboard the phalanxes. Which may mean I might have to actually add some guild gates just as added bonus for I can use the occasionally swing with them. Because a 2-mana 3/3, if you think of it as just a defensive creature, I mean it's pretty good. Because it blanks all of their two under fours. Like if it's not a 2/4, or if a 3 or something, it's blanked by a 3/3. I might have to consider. Because I think my biggest problem is my defensive speed is a hair slower than I would like it. I mean, the speed at which I mount my defense is a little slow. I'm really relying on Gary to bring me back into the game. One of the reasons why I think the White Weenie matchup's actually not that bad for mono black control, because you just stabilize using blockers, which builds up your devotion, and then eventually, like I think Disciple's the most important card. I will not mulligan a 3-lander. Oh, and our opponent goes to 5? 5. Well, hey, the last time I pulled mulled to 4, it was actually a pretty good game. So, see where this goes. Syndic. Yeah, I'll play this creature. They don't have like he has last breath. That's about the only targeted removal. And if my opponent spins his turn 3 last breathing, I'm cool with that. Corpse Hauler. Always yield to that. I'm going to swing in, which opens me up to Celestial Flare, I suppose. Main Flare? Okay, he's playing Last Breath. Yeah, and as I said, I'm fine with that, especially since he didn't do it main phase when I couldn't use my bat. And I trade his Corpse Hauler for either his Syndic. I trade my Corpse Hauler for either his Syndic or his. If he attacks, we snap trade, and I Tab wound to that. Yeah, just play the Gray Merchant for kicks. Merchant E for 3 is not nearly as impressive, but he's a big wall. Last breath. Oh, pacifism. That's not bad. Gray Merchant you again. So hard to win that race. Daring Skyjack. Yeah, that's fine. It's actually super. Oh, still in combat. Out of combat. Eidolon. Lock. At Gray Merchant. Merchant U for 4. Got the life to burn. Yeah, well, I did it wrong. I should have actually. Now, if he has Celestial Flare. What he has Bacon Apparition instead. When did he exile? I exiled my Corpse Hauler. Yeah, makes sense. Oh. You goes. Unless you have a Last Breath as your last card. Yams. Well, that does it. 6-1. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope you'll watch me next week.